Are you a skirt lover? I have collected so many over the years. I like the versatility of separates, and skirts can be so vast in their shape and style, how they affect the look of our body and their length, of course, whether they're high-waisted or worn on the hip, whether they have ruching. You know, there's just so many variables to a skirt, and I just have an adoration for them, possibly also because I'm pear-shaped, and wearing pants can be difficult. They're always too tight in the thigh and too big in the waist, almost always. It's incredulous to me that people aren't making pants for pear-shaped women, and what is it, 2021? Hello. There's a big market out there, somebody. Hello. Anyway, I digress. I do love skirts. I have a large collection. So I've promised a few people that I would do a bit of a style up with skirts, just some of them. And I'm going to start with one that is well over 30 years old. This is from Miss Shop from Maya. Remember them? I don't know if they're still around. They may be, but this was huge when I was a teenager. And this is well over 30 years old. I still love it to pieces. It's a little more fitted now. And it's also very low waist, and because I benefit from having my waist shown, I cannot really wear this with just something hanging down because it just looks too, it's shapeless. It ends up shapeless on me, particularly because of this sort of flippy style. So what I've done for the first outfit is I have put on a longer top underneath. You can see how low it is on me. So my waist is here and it's sitting right on my hip. And so what I've done is I've put a leopard print top, but I've just tucked it in and I've covered over the join there with a jacket. So you can't really tell where my waist is, but this jacket's form-fitted enough to knit me in and give me a little bit of shape. I've put it with boots. I tried this look with closed-in heels like pump. I tried it with sandals. I tried it with all sorts of shoes, and it just wasn't working because this is very, very summery, and what I've got up the top here is more autumnal, and it was just looking like I was business up the top and beach down the bottom. But when you add a boot, you can get away with something like this, and I think this looks absolutely fabulous. Love, love, love this. And the crossbody bag just gives it a whole other look as well. I love that there is the pattern going on up the top, even though there's texture at the bottom. I think the pattern still works well. And yeah, and of course some glamorous earrings. I find whenever I wear yellowy creams, I pull out these stunning earrings from Zara. All right, now let me try something else with this. One thing I have done with this skirt in the past, particularly in winter when I'd probably love to wear it the most, is I've added knits. And I once wore this skirt with some black boots, knee-high black boots, and a beautiful, almost putty-coloured, really oversized, chunky knit jumper that came down to about here, and just a really big loose neck and long full sleeves. And it looked absolutely gorgeous to have that little peak down the bottom there that was so unexpected. So what I've done here is I've put this knit on, and because it's sort of sitting in a really nice spot, I think experimenting with the length is important. It actually looks okay. I think with a crossbody bag it could give some shape to my waist, but I don't mind this as it is. It's sort of relaxed, and at the back what I've done is I've actually turned this around. So this is actually a cardigan, and I've left that lovely little peak of the leopard print. And it just gives a whole different silhouette and a whole different flippiness to the skirt. And I've added a bag in a tonal colour. But I could add a belt. I'm not a huge fan of peplums. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my horror from the 80s. But I just don't, it just doesn't feel right for me, even though it does nip the waist in. It has to be, I don't know, I have to just experiment and see what works. So I thought I'd try a tonal Bottega Veneta dupe first. So let's put this one on. So you can see it's really going to depend on the top. It's going to depend on the style of the skirt at the bottom, whether it flips out or it's straight. I actually feel this might look a little bit better with a pencil skirt. And yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. I do like that there's some busyness happening here because I don't have earrings on, and this is such a large expanse of knit. So having that little necklace in there, or that large necklace rather, is a great way to sort of add texture to the top. And the belt, might be a little bit too much, and it's tricky with this cardigan because it's quite poofy. So that's what it would look like nipped in. Voila. And I thought I'd try a belt in a contrasting colour. Pull up the sleeves and match it with my cuff. And there you go with a contrasting, another Bottega Veneta dupe, contrasting colour, and I would put a bag that also reflected those tones. And I probably like that a bit better actually. Yeah, and just the nip in gives me some nice shape. Might have to try it with a pencil skirt too, that nip in. Right, what else can I come up with this? Maybe something summery now. For a more summery look, I've put on a beautiful vintage silk shirt. I've just rolled up the sleeves. I'm leaving it nice and relaxed and open and breezy. I do have a statement earring on because I just think it gives a nice balance to the skirt at the bottom. And a really relaxed sandal, beautiful fringed, neutral sandal. I think the colours all go beautifully together. And what it does, because I don't have anything bright on, it allows all these textures to shine. And there's some beautiful, look at this shirt. There's some beautiful textures here, and in the skirt of course as well, and the shoe. And then, because you know, the skirt is a little too short for me, I'm pulling it down. You can see a bit of my belly. So I've just knotted the shirt, trying to keep that little belly flash covered. The crossbody bag is helping. And then at the back, I like how it nips me in. It gives a nice shape because it nips in at the waist here, and the shape of the skirt is quite rounded. So yeah, so that's a bit of a summery look, and statement sunnies as well. But what I might try now is a little bit of a heel, maybe something a bit dressier. Now for an evening look, I've put on a gold lurex silk top. This is quite an old one actually. It has this awful bow here. I think I'm going to cut that off. But what a gorgeous shape that is. And I'm going with a peplum so that I can just avoid having to worry about how low the skirt is, you know. I've pulled it down as far as it will go. It just gives a nicer shape, not only for my body type and leg, but just for the whole ensemble, particularly with this peplum. Doesn't need a belt. It would just be too much with a belt. And I've got this divine crocheted clutch that my sister made for me recently with love, and it's just beautiful. And I love that it sort of disappears and allows all this texture and a little bit of shimmer to shine. I did put a more gold sandal on, but I prefer this. It's a little bit, I guess it's a cross between a silver and a gold, and it goes better with this top. I think it just has a nice synergy to it, you know. So there you go, a little bit of a statement earring. And I think that works nicely. You can see if I bring the skirt up, see how it just doesn't work as well? It just is not as flattering. So I'm hauling that baby down, and the peplum means I don't have to worry about a peak. The dreaded belly peak. Okay, I have a bunch of things here, a bunch of ideas, and I'm really excited. So I'm just going to show you first of all the top. So this is Country Road. It's one of those incredibly flattering, super thick, stretchy fabric tops. And it's just a fantastic shape with this. So it's got this panel along the bottom here. And then at the back, you can see, obviously, it's too short. But then you can wrap this around like this. Oh, it's so comfortable. You know, when you put something on and you feel like all your smooshy bits are being held in, it's so lovely. And I actually really like this. I didn't expect to. And I've put on a pair of mules, like a brogue mule. And I think that looks really lovely. This is something that you could wear for work, you know, with maybe a cardigan over the top. And then I also thought that this would look fantastic with a platform sneaker when you're gadding about with a lovely big tote, fabulous pair of sunnies, and you're going shopping and it's quite hot, you know. I mean, look how great that would look. I think that would be beautiful. So then for work, I would likely, you could add a blazer, of course, would look fantastic, but even just a long line loose cardigan like this one. This is just a Country Road wool one. I would just pull up the sleeves and I'd leave my flats on maybe. I might try a heel as well, but it's just, I love these colours together. These neutrals, they look gorgeous. And if you didn't want to go for jangly earrings, a beautiful necklace, maybe just that tangle of gold I had on before. So I like that. That's great for the office, and I like that little peak of white as you move at the bottom. Looks great. I'm just going to try some heels. Okay, here with a tonal heel, and that looks a lot better than I thought as well. I think a closed toe shoe it doesn't work as well unless it's a little, you know, sling back sling back pump or something like that. And then I would add a contrast bag, like a darker bag to this because it's also light. Gorgeous. And then one more. And here I'm adding a splash of soft pink. How gorgeous is that with the grey, a tan bag, a neutral shoe, really, really pretty. And you could even just do it up and have that little nip, beautiful grey at the top and the white splash at the bottom. Oh, that was fun. All right, next skirt. This next skirt is exquisite. I got it in Melbourne from H&M when H&M first came to Australia. This was a few years ago. I was in Melbourne and I went to the big store there, and I was actually on my way to see the Dior exhibition at the National Gallery Victoria, and I popped into H&M on the way. I was meeting my publisher there, and she's a great fashionista, Lisa. She loves clothing and has an incredible collection of clothing. So I turned up and we went and saw the exhibition, and then we sat down for coffee and I showed her this skirt, and I swear to God there was a Dior dress exactly the same as this skirt, like a vintage one, seriously, identical colour, shape, everything, except it was obviously a dress. And she couldn't even believe it, and I of course showed her at the end because I could not believe my eyes. And actually when I was in H&M I thought, God, that's Dior. So incredible. Anyway, so I love this. It does have a lot of bulk, a lot of ruffles, but it is actually very slimming, would you believe it? I think people avoid these tiered skirts because they think it's makes you look poofier, but I completely disagree. I think it is really slimming if you wear the right things with it. So I wanted to try it with Dove Grey, sending me back to the 80s, these pastel pinks with Dove Grey, and I love this, particularly with a little bit of a tan. And I put on a silver boot at the bottom and a fabulous silver earring that has that, I don't know, that cascade that these ruffles do. So with this top, because it's a lovely high-waisted skirt, has a terrible waistband, so you have to wear something over it, a belt or something. So what I would do here is I would just pull it in as tight as it would go. I'm struggling here to tie it properly, so I'd have someone tie it for me, but you can see from the front how gorgeous that looks and how it gives a beautiful silhouette. And then what you could do, of course, is start adding bling. I mean, this would just look sensational. Right up here though, I don't wear brooches here, I wear them high. So something like that would add some glamour. I'd take off the earrings. Alternatively, this one is also absolutely gorgeous. These are both Zara, these pins. And something like this. I mean, how beautiful would that be? Epauletted like that, across like that, just stunning. Or necklace, something like this. It's a little bit vintage looking and has a beautiful line to it, would go on the neckline beautifully, and of course I'd take the earrings off, but how gorgeous would that be? And then lastly, I wanted to try my pink brocade coat. This is my vintage silk coat, and I just wanted to try it with the pink because I do love colour on colour, tone on tone, and that's just the perfect length. It just allows that lovely swoosh of the pink here. Of course you could wear white underneath as well. For bags, I would probably go with something that just does not compete. So something a little textural and, you know, disappears a little. So there you go. Love this skirt. Let me try it in another way now.